Hi, I'm Mike Mayerhofer, Director of Technology at Liberty. Today I'll talk about the billion-dollar question: how do I place and space my wells? At Liberty, our approach is to answer that question with integrated frac and reservoir modeling. First and foremost, we need to start with an earth model with geomechanical and reservoir parameters, followed by some kind of a measurement of frac geometry that helps us calibrate our frac models, such as microseismic, tiltmeter mapping, radioactive tracers, fiber optic data, etc. And that helps us to create a better, what we call calibrated frac model. And once we have that, we can use that frac model inside a reservoir model to do production history matches, which provides us a calibration on the production of the well. Once we have that in place, we can do sensitivities and run economics on that to optimize our frac designs and well spacing and placement strategies. In this presentation, I'm going to go through a case study that we have done in the gas-producing Mancos Niobrara Formation. For more details, you can refer to the listed SBE paper. Calibrated frac modeling entails, setting up an earth model with geomechanical properties such as stress, Young's modulus, Poisson's ratio, but then also calibrating that information with DFIT data, and then do the frac model calibration with that. Here's an example from this Peon's case study where you can see where the frac model was calibrated to microseismic geometry, the orange dots here on the map. But we also had production log information, or you could also have fiber optic data information on the right, where you can see the cluster efficiency, that only two clusters out of the 4 clusters were really creating most of the frac geometry. So once we have a calibrated frac model in place, we can then import that into a reservoir model, and we call that a calibrated reservoir model, where we history match the production or the wellhead or bottom hole flowing pressures of a specific well. In this case study, we actually did the history matching on a total of 6 wells, and here you see an example from one of those wells. So once we have calibrated the reservoir model and production history matched, we can then do sensitivities. And here you see an example of well spacing sensitivities to answer that spacing question. On the left, you see the base case of the 6-well pad with 1350-foot well spacing. And this is projecting out to 40 years of production. And we cume about 35 BCF based on the model, which is a little less than 6 BCF per well. Unfortunately, the economics were not very favorable for that scenario with over $10 million well cost. So we also ran the case on the right, where we now took 3 wells out and modeled a 2,700-foot well spacing. This gives us a total of 24 BCF recovery after 40 years, which is 11 BCF less. However, now we can produce about 8 BCF per well, which may be economically more favorable. So in the end, we need to look at the economic criteria. In this particular case, we are comparing the rate of return on the left axis and the net present value with 10% discount rate on the right y-axis. And we've looked at 1,300-foot wells, 50-foot well spacing, up to about 4,000-foot well spacing. And in blue, you see 30% cluster efficiency, and in orange, 50% cluster efficiency. And based on these plots, we can now say that the optimum well spacing should probably be somewhere between 2,000 and 2,700 feet. So as you can see, based on the simple example, this is Liberty's approach to trying to answer that billion-dollar well spacing questions. For more information, please refer to our website at libertyfrac.com. Thank you.